That's alright. Number 2.
Okay, well, when I was 5, my dad like started teaching me how to edit because he's an editor.
Oh, that's cool.
So like when I was hands-on, I was 7. Sorry, but like I started learning when I was 5, but I was hands-on.
Yeah.
I started hands-on when I was 7. But you know, so I was doing. But I did films until I was like 15 or 16, and then I was just like, oh, I'm getting too old for this shit. And then,
I'm getting too old.
Like I was getting tired of it, you know. So, so like I started. I started writing. And so then I was like really into drawing, but then when I was 5, like drew a picture of something that some child care worker thought meant I was being molested. So we got put in foster homes for 2 years, and my brother was 1. So I stopped drawing because I got kind of paranoid. Like I know this might sound funny, but I'm being serious. So I stopped drawing, and so me and my brother spent 2 years in. Like first it was immediate foster care, and then we had like another kind of foster care where our mom would come a lot. And then my brother ended up staying with his foster parents till he was 18. So basically, when I was 7, when it was over, my mom was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, because my parents were split up before I was born. So I was with my mom, and then so she came up here. So that's how we ended up Lompoc, because they wanted to get away from LA.
Right.
And then so my brother's foster family moved to Orchid so they could be close. But
Oh,
I still
that's
only saw
cool.
him maybe 5 days a year. I barely
Wow.
saw my brother, and that was my only no sisters, so my only brother. So that was that whole thing. So then I got really into filmmaking, and I didn't draw after that. And then when I was 16, I thought it'd be funny. It's not funny. I thought it'd be funny. Like we saw this little kid, like me. Me and my best friend were picking up his brother from the elementary school.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be funny because I was making films that were like dramas or just action films. I was into like Van Damme and Steven Seagal and Brandley and all that. So those were the kind of films I was making. And then when I was 16, we're driving along picking up his brother, and I was bored. So I thought it'd be funny to yell. It's not funny, but I thought it'd be funny if the kid walking down the street go, "Hey, little kid, want some candy?" and that's fucked up, I know. And the kid ran away, so it was funny. So my friend, at the time it was funny. So my friend said it, and then we're like, "Oh, that was funny." And then the next day, when we go to pick up his brother, we have 6, 7 cop cars just surround the street. There was hundreds of people watching as we get thrown to the floor. They're about ready to draw their guns on us.
You're ridiculous.
We're spending all day in jail, and then I spent the next 2 years fighting cases of child molestation on me doing it to somebody.
Wow, ironic, weird.
Yeah, how ironic and weird. Yeah. So I spent my entire 11th and 12th grade year of high school basically just It's just you don't know how to cope with those kind of accusations. You're
Okay.
no. they wanted me to be put in foster care again, but this time because they thought I was doing it. And so that happened. That took another 2 years, and then I get out of high school, and then I see this movie called The War Zone, Tim Roth made, and it was about incest, molestation, all that.
Yeah.
And I think I just always had when I saw that, I realized I need to touch on this subject and really find out what the deal was. It's it's fucked up my whole life. Yeah, I know nothing about this subject, and I saw that movie, and it fucking got me emotionally. So I instantly started making this movie about a dad raping his daughter, and then the daughter, and the son are sleeping together. But I think it came out a little campy.
Okay.
It wasn't serious like I meant it to be. And then so I was working on shit like that for a while, and I was trying to do everything very professional, spending thousands of dollars trying to get people together, trying to light everything, blah, 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 and all that shit. And then I spent years on that, and then nothing was going right, and then I ended up in a relationship for 3 years. So I grew up with my grandma, right? She died, and it was really weird, because she was my mom's blind, so my grandma did a lot of mom things. My mom couldn't read to me or drive me anywhere, so my grandma did all that. So it was when I watched her die, it was watching my mom die. It was my mom, is awesome, but you know what I mean? She was the most important person, the most dependable person in my life. So for that to be the first person to watch die, in front of me, it just really fucked me up. And the girl who I grew up with next door, who I always had a crush on, that had been killed just weeks before that by a drunk driver. And so I was kind of getting weirded out by shit going on. And then a few months later, the girl who I thought I was gonna marry and have kids with, and all that, she dumped me, and then 3 weeks later got pregnant by some guy who a week later was in prison for drugs and has been there ever since. So I was life sucks.
All right.
And then I was my movie's not going anywhere. I'm going to fucking kill myself. I hate shit. But I still haven't completed a feature film.
In recent news, Cyrus Overton has escaped from the skate park.
I wanted a clothing line forever, and it's I got sick of not being able to find stuff that I wanted to buy.
stuff that I see everybody else have, you know, and it's like, it's just, I started because I'd like to see my creativity touch people, you know what I mean, and if they buy my clothes, that's cool, you know, I've been in bands since I was 15, and like, that music's touched people, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like another form of like creative release, I guess.
Yeah. Are you in any other like creative projects right now?
I got a band in Santa Maria, we're getting our stuff together.
So what do you play?
I play guitar.
Hey, how long have you been doing that?
I started playing bass when I was 15, and switched over to guitar when I was like 20. I mean, I played guitar for years and years and years, but I decided to like focus on guitar. I just play what sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just happens other people like it.
That's cool.
It's like my clothes. I'm just doing... All my designs are like what I want to wear. It just happens that everybody else wants to wear it too. You know?
Yeah.
So it works out really good.
So I want you to let everybody know, like, just describe what the drop party was like for those who didn't come last Saturday.
Crazy.
July 12th.
If they were in my shoes, absolutely crazy. I didn't get to sit still for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The only time I got to sit still was when I went outside to go smoke a cigarette, and I didn't even finish my cigarettes half the time. Wow. And it's like, I got to say what's up to everybody, you know, which was cool. But, you know, making sure the bands were staged, making sure they had everything they needed, talking to the owner, talking to the bartenders, talking to people that I needed to talk to, buying rounds of drinks for people that, you know, I needed to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, it was just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Can you introduce the 6 bands that were there?
After All opened,